everybody. My name is Rebecca. I know there are a lot of options for you right now for your home practice, but I wanted to give you guys the option of about an hour-long gentle vinyasa with the opportunity to bring in props as you need. In fact, I encourage you, if you have a block, grab a block, preferably a firm foam block. If you don't have a block, I'll be giving you options to do these things without a block as well. A blanket is great under your knees if you tend to have knee problems in low lunges or tabletops. I'm going to set this aside, but just an example of a blanket that would work, you could fold up. So we're going to start with a body scan and an opportunity for some meditation. Then we're going to move on to supine stretching, so on our back. Then we're going to come up to a seat and do some seated stretches, and then the rest of the class will be a standing flow. So you might notice some similarities between a Baptiste power flow, at least in the structure, but it's going to be very gentle, appropriate for all levels, even if you've never done yoga before. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to come to our backs. So find a comfortable position for you. So maybe that's different for everyone. I'm going to show you guys how a supported bridge would look using your block, but you also have the option of just coming to your back with arms and legs outstretched. Or you can bring the soles of your feet together, knees falling out to the sides. This is reclined bound angle. So find a comfortable position where you can be for just a couple of minutes. So this is a supported bridge, lifting the hips, placing your block underneath your hips, grounding down through your feet, and just finding ease in your upper body. So we're going to start by closing the eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, just find a gentle gaze. And we're just going to bring our attention to the present moment. So maybe you start to think about the space that you're in. Thinking about the height of the ceiling above you. The feeling of the support from the floor underneath you. Finding yourself on your mat. Grounding yourself in the present moment. Next, bring your attention to sounds that you hear. So start with the furthest away sounds. Maybe you can hear traffic outside. If you're lucky, maybe birds singing. Maybe noises from distant parts of the house. Then dial it in a little closer. So what do you hear in the room that you're in? Maybe the flickering of a candle, even if it's close by, or the bubbling of a diffuser. If someone's practicing with you, maybe the breath of your family member or co-quarantine person. So just listening. And then finally, bringing your awareness to the sound of your own breath. So we're going to start to tap into our yoga breath. So that's our Ujjayi breath. Something like an ocean wave in the back of the throat. So you can access that breath by constricting the muscles in the back of the throat just a little. So on your inhale and exhale, you're going to feel like you're activating your whisper muscles. So the same muscles you would use to whisper or to fog up a window if you were breathing on it. So just listening to that sound in the back of your throat. And now starting to gently deepen the breath, so gradually lengthening your inhales through the nose and your exhales through the nose. Starting to become aware of the changes in your body as you deepen your breath. Starting to feel the expansion of the ribs on your inhales, your chest rising, a sensation of relaxation and release on your full exhales. So starting to visualize space being created with your inhales. So think about length through the spine, space in the side body, energy being provided to every cell and muscle in your body as you breathe in. As you exhale, think about letting go. So letting go of tension, letting go of stress, letting go of thoughts that do not serve you right now. Lastly, we'll do a quick body scan. So starting with the feet, just becoming aware of how they feel today. So noticing any sensations of comfort or discomfort. Just noticing. Breathing into your feet. Now send your awareness to the muscles in your legs. Noticing any tension around the kneecaps and making a conscious effort to relax. Walking your awareness up to your hips, allow them to be heavy and sink into the mat. Breathing into the side body and the muscles along the spine, noticing that feeling of space that you're creating as you breathe in, and the relaxation of your shoulder blades sinking down as you breathe out. Bring your awareness to the muscles in your arms, all the way down to the tips of each finger. Noticing any feelings in your palms, so maybe a feeling of tingling or energy, just noticing that. So where your energy, where your attention goes, rather your energy flows. So as you bring your attention to your hands, maybe you feel the energy building in your hands and fingers. Sweeping your energy back up, sweeping the attention back up the arms to the neck. Breathing length into the back of the neck. And then lastly, coming to your face, the muscles of the face and jaw. Bringing your attention and your conscious effort to relax your jaw, your forehead, the muscles. And a ladybug is on me. I knew I felt something. The muscles in your forehead. And lastly, bring your awareness to the center of your forehead. Focusing your attention there on your mind's eye. Checking in with how you feel mentally today, spiritually, emotionally. Making a note of anything you need to be mindful of throughout your practice. Finally, do a final check-in with your whole body, just seeing how you feel. Take a couple of full body breaths, visualizing your breath starting at the soles of the feet, breathing up the length of the spine, out the crown of the head. Then as you exhale, your breath coming back down the spine, all the way down out through the feet. So we're slowly going to find our way to our backs on the mat. So if you've been in your bridge pose, gently take the block out, move it aside. And we're all going to stretch our arms and our legs out long and take a good morning or good afternoon stretch. So on your inhale, go ahead and inhale both arms up and overhead, really reaching your fingertips to the top of the mat, spreading your toes wide, reaching your toes to the bottom of the mat, get really long. Take a couple of breaths here, just really feeling that length. And on your exhale, just letting everything relax back down to your sides. All right, so we're gonna start moving with our breath. So on your next inhale, we're gonna bend our knees, place the soles of the feet on the mat, and bring them out to the edges of the mat. So walk them out kind of wide. We're gonna bring our arms out to a T. And we're gonna take, ooh, that's a candle. I just put it out with my hand. Okay, so this is home practice. You just do what you gotta do. All right, so our arms are out at a T, and we're just going to take some movements with the knees, windshield wipering them side to side. So maybe candles aren't great to have super close to your practice. Note to self. So we're just going to drop the knees side to side, warming up the hips. If you want a little bit more out of this movement, you can go ahead and drop the knees to one side, leave them there, take your gaze to the opposite hand. Switch to the other side, drop your knees over, gaze comes to the other hand. So we're just getting a little bit of a twist. Then we're going to bring everything back to center. Go ahead and walk your feet back into line and reach them out long. We're going to draw the right knee into your chest with an inhale. So inhale, draw that knee in, feel your low back contacting the mat, and we're going to circle the right foot. So this is just warming up your right foot, your right ankle. Both directions. And next we're going to switch the grip, interlacing the fingers behind the bend of the knee. And this is a nerve flossing movement that we're going to do, so moving with your breath as smoothly as you can. Inhale, straighten the right leg, point the foot. Exhale, bend the right knee, flex the foot. So inhale, straighten and point. Exhale, bend and flex. 2 more. Inhale, straighten and point. Exhale, bend and flex. Last one, inhale, straighten and point. Exhale, bend and flex. Hug that leg in one more time. And then release it long, switch sides. Hug the left leg in as tight as you can, feeling that low back contacting the mat, and circle the left foot. So we're going to move it both directions. You can spread the toes wide, make a fist with your foot, whatever you need to do to warm up that foot and ankle. Next, we're going to go ahead and switch the grip, interlacing fingers behind the bend of the left leg. Inhale, straighten and point. Exhale, bend and flex. Inhale, straighten and point. Exhale, bend and flex. Inhale, straighten, point. Exhale, bend and flex. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Hug that knee in one last time. And we're going to keep that knee hugged in as we drag the right heel up the mat, bringing the right leg to meet the left. And we're going to take some little circles around. So this is like your self-massage for the day. So loosely holding the knees, rolling around the muscles of the low back, the outer hips and glutes. Wherever feels good, you can pause for a moment. Take it the other direction. Both ways. And when you're ready, choose a side. Let your knees drop over. Use your top hand to press yourself up to a seat. So we're all going to find a seated pose that works for you. Doesn't matter which leg is crossed in front. And we're going to sit, finding our long spine. So reaching up through the crown of the head, grounding down through both sit bones evenly. And we're going to take some movements with our breath. So we're going to inhale, bring the arms out and up, look up gently. Exhale, sweep the arms back down to the mat, take chin to chest. Inhale, sweep your arms up, look up. Exhale, sweep the arms down, chin to chest. This time, go ahead and keep your arms down, chin stays down, and we're going to take some neck movements. So inhale, and then on your exhale, just gently rock your right ear to your right shoulder. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale through center. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. So moving with your own breath, let's take a couple more of these neck rolls. Another ladybug. I don't know, maybe that's good luck. So let's move with our breath. Rocking the head, ear to shoulder. Trying to sit up nice and tall as you do this, so keeping the chest lifted. We're going to go ahead and meet with chin to chest. And then on your next inhale, bring your head back up to neutral. All right, so let's continue on. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sweep them down. Inhale, sweep the arms up. This time we're going to twist to the right. So on your exhale, you're going to bring your right hand just behind you. Left hand comes to your right knee. And then we're just gently looking over to the right. So trying to sit up nice and tall here. Bring yourself back to center, reset, inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Breathe in here. Reset, bring yourself back to center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, sweep them back down. We're gonna take a side bend. So keeping the right fingertips on the mat. Inhale, left arm sweeps up. Exhale, bend your right elbow. Side bend. So we're really reaching through this left arm, trying to get that arm nice and straight at a diagonal, reaching through the fingertips. You're gonna feel that all the way down to your left hip. Breathe in here. Sweep your left hand back down to the mat. Inhale, right arm comes up. Exhale, bend your left elbow, side bend. So again, really reaching. Try not to crunch too much here in this left side, so still creating some space here as we reach. Really feeling that length in the side body and the stretch all the way down to the hip. Bring your right fingertips back down. We're gonna inhale. Bring the arms up, exhale, bring your hands to heart center. We're gonna do some wrist warm-ups because we are gonna be on our wrists for our down dogs and other poses. So let's go ahead and bring our forearms together in front of us, interlace your fingers and take some figure eights or infinity symbols. You can call it whatever you want, but we're gonna try to take our wrists in that kind of a shape. Once you've gone one direction, we're gonna switch the interlace of the fingers, so opposite thumb on top, and then we're gonna go in the opposite direction with our figure eight. So this is kind of a mental challenge. You guys know I always make you do this. It feels really weird, but we're gonna go with it. We're gonna keep going. So keeping that awkward interlace, we're gonna sit up nice and tall. Inhale, press the palms away from you, creating space between the shoulders and the ears. And then on your next inhale, press the palms up. Really thinking handstand here, so shrugging the shoulders up to the ears, lengthening through the side body. You can even take your gaze up, so bring your eyes up. Breathe here. We're gonna release the hands, and we're going to flick our fingers. So this is our extensor muscle exercise. So we're gonna flick with the arms overhead. Then we're just gonna slowly bring the arms down until we're out at a T. We're gonna keep flicking. So this is going to counteract all of the stuff that we do during the day where we're gripping. This is going to start to burn the forearms a little bit. We're going to keep going. Sending good vibes out into the world. Whoever's on either side of you, bring your arms out in front, flick a few more times. All right. Shake it out. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Go ahead and check back in with your long spine with your posture. So sit up tall, crown of the head reaching up. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, we're gonna take a forward fold. So one handprint at a time, we're gonna walk our way forward on the mat. So I'm gonna back up so that you can see me. So you guys don't have to do this part, but I'm moving back so that you can see my forward fold. So I'm crawling myself forward. When you feel a stretch in your low back, go ahead and release your forearms down, release your head down. So find that nice opening and release through the low back. So I'm feeling that right here. So direct your breath into your low back here. So really think about your exhale softening your low back. From this fold, we're gonna stay folded and crawl our fingertips over to the right as we gently press back through the left sit bone. So both sit bones are on the mat, but we're making a mindful effort to press down through that left side. Breathe in here. Walk your hands back through center over to the left. Press through your fingertips. Press down, especially through that right sit bone. You're gonna feel the stretch along the side body all the way down to the hip. Keep breathing. If you've lost your Ujjayi breath, so your ocean wave breath, just recultivate that anytime during your practice. Walk your fingertips back to center, and then one handprint at a time, walk yourself back up. All right, so we're gonna do one more seated stretch. We're gonna bring our hands behind us, fingertips pointed backwards. We're gonna roll the shoulders open, shoulder blades pressing towards the spine, and really create some space and opening across the front body. So across the chest, across the pecs, find the depth of stretch that feels good to you. Really try to breathe here. You don't have to crank your neck all the way back. We can just take a gentle lift of the chin and breathe. Really stretching those pecs, counteracting all of the slumping and hunching that we might be doing over our computers at home, over our phones. And then walking ourselves back up. All right, so next we are going to swing your legs over to one side. This is where you can grab your blanket if you need that under your knees. And we're gonna come to tabletop. So for tabletop, you wanna make sure your hips are stacked over your knees and your shoulders are stacked over your wrists. So we're gonna go through some traditional cat-cows. If this is tough on your knees, you always have the option to sit and do your cat-cow seated. So cat-cow seated, same movements of the spine. We're just sitting in an easy seated posture. So let's go ahead and take some cat-cows with our breath. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. Exhale, push the mat away around your spine, look in. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. So moving with your own breath, let's go through some more cat and cow. See if you can really articulate every part of the spine. So maybe you start the movement with the tailbone, and then see if that opens up any more awareness for you of different parts of the spine. So maybe just playing around with where you initiate the movement, getting into every vertebrae, moving with your breath. So just kind of exploring here with your cat and cow. Couple more. And we're all going to meet back in a neutral tabletop. All right, so here we are. We're gonna do a few more things in tabletop. We're gonna take the right leg straight back on the ball of the right foot. So for this, I want you to think about keeping your core engaged. So that looks like pulling belly button to your spine, pushing the mat away. We're gonna shift our weight forward and back. And this is gonna be our really great stretch for the right calf and the right Achilles. I feel this mostly in my calf. So right back here. So keep rocking the weight forward and back. And this is where I kind of give you a choose your own adventure. You can stay here in this movement, or if you want a little bit more core and balance, you're gonna go ahead and stop rocking and you're gonna lift that right leg straight up. Fire up your right glute, right toes pointing down towards the mat. You can stay here, or you can reach the left arm out in front like you're shaking hands. So we can stay here with this balance, or the final option is to crunch elbow to knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then bring everything back. So we're gonna rock back onto our toes for a moment, and we're just gonna shake out our wrists. So maybe take some circles, shake them out. That was a lot on our wrists. We're gonna come back to tabletop and take the other side. So the left leg comes straight back on the ball of the left foot. We're gonna push the mat away, engage the core, keep it strong the whole time, and shift our weight forward and back. So really feeling that awesome stretch in the left calf and the left Achilles, the foot. So again, you can stay here with this rocking stretch, or you can lift that left leg straight up, squeeze the left glute, left toes pointing down, turn your core on if you've lost it, reach the right arm out in front like you're shaking hands, stay here, or crunch, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, everything comes back down. Awesome. So we're gonna take a child's pose before we move on. Bring your knees wide, big toes together to touch. Bring your forehead down to the mat. So child's pose, always an option for you at any point during this practice. If you find that you've lost connection with your breath or you just need a break, a moment, come to child's pose or any pose of your choosing. So we're in child's pose. You can stay here, or we can take a puppy pose. So for puppy, we're gonna let the feet come apart, and we're gonna make sure that the knees are about hip width distance apart. So from here, we're gonna start to walk the palms forward, and you want your hips to stack over your knees. And so depending on how open your shoulders and chest are, you might be up here, you might be down here, If you are really open, you might be able to bring your chin to the mat and your gaze toward your hands. We want to really think about pressing actively through the hands. Strong in the core to protect the low back. Breathing here. To come out, we're going to take our time. We're going to walk it all back up to tabletop. From here, we're going to come into downward facing dog. So go ahead and curl the toes under. Press into the palms. Start to peel the hips up towards the sky. And we're going to pedal it out. So really thinking about length in the spine, pressing through the palms. We don't want to sink in the shoulders, so we have an active upper back, pressing the back muscles up towards the sky. So we're not sinking down. If you're super mobile, that's going to be a temptation. Pedaling the heels down. And from here, we're going to go ahead and take little steps up to the top of the mat. And we're going to hang in ragdoll pose. So for ragdoll, check in with your feet. You want to make sure that they're about hip width distance apart. Bring your belly to your thighs. So as much as you need to bend the knees, grabbing opposite elbows, and just hanging here, so swaying side to side. We're just kind of releasing the upper body, so hanging from this hinge in the hips like a ragdoll. Let your head be heavy, so maybe even shaking the head yes or no. Checking in with your breath. So we're going to take an IT band forward fold variation from here. So if you don't have your block handy, go ahead and grab your block. Hopefully it's nearby. We're going to place it in front of the feet in the center. If you don't have a block, you can just use tented fingertips or several books stacked up or anything around that height. So we're going to place the right hand on the block, generous bend in the right leg, straighten the left leg. We're going to reach that left arm up with our inhale and take your gaze up to the top hand. So you're going to feel that through that left hip. Breathing here. Switch sides, so bring the left hand down. Generous bend in the left knee, right leg straightens, right arm twists up. This is a really good stretch if you're a runner, so just keeping that in mind. It's a great variation. One more time on each side, switch. Right hand comes down, right knee bends, twist up left. Last time, left hand comes down, bend your left knee, straighten the right leg, twist up right arm. Keep your breath going. Awesome. Okay, we're going to bring the hand down, move the block aside. If you are not all the way to the front of the mat, let's come to the top of the mat. Strengthen your legs, coming all the way up to mountain pose. Roll your shoulders up, down, back. Check in with your knees. Make sure you have a little micro bend there so we don't want to be locked out. So we're just checking in with our mountain pose. Grounding down through all four corners of the feet. Feeling strong, feeling rooted, feeling grounded. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Invitation to close your eyes here if you'd like to set an intention for the rest of your asana practice. So we're just going to check in. Check in again with your breath, with anything you need to keep in mind today. Maybe dedicating your practice to someone that you can't be with today. Let's let the eyes come open. And on your next inhale, reach up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, we're going to take a forward fold all the way down. Keep your knees bent. Inhale, lift halfway, straight spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do 2 more modified sunays just like that. So moving with your own breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Good, let's keep it going. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Awesome. We're going to take a standing half moon. This is one of my favorite poses. I really like to get into the side body. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, interlace fingers, leaving pointer fingers out. So what I want you to think about doing is lengthening up first, and then just tipping your upper half of your body over to the right. So I'm going to do that so you can see me. So inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, standing half moon to the right. So you're really reaching and lengthening, feeling that through the side body. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, tip it to the left. So you want to feel like you're between two panes of glass here. You're moving in only this direction so that you don't hit either pane of glass. Back to center. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, cactus your arms. Take a little back bend. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Awesome. So we're going to move into our standing sequence. I don't do chaturangas and traditional vinyasas, but I'm going to give you a chance to do those if you'd like. So you just listen for those parts, you do your thing. Here we go. We're going to step our left leg back to high crescent lunge on the right. So the left leg is going to lift up, one-legged mountain. We're going to see if we can send our chest forward as we reach the left leg back. And we're going to come to our high crescent on the right. So for high crescent, you want to make sure your right knee is stacked over the right ankle. Hips are square to the top of the mat, so you can even self-adjust here. Really firing up all the muscles of this back leg, straightening that leg, engaging all those muscles. When you're feeling balanced, inhale, reach your arms up. Breathe. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, cactus your arms, open your chest. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, cactus. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus. Bring your hands to heart center. And we're going to twist to the right. So you can twist up here, or you can use that left elbow, hooking it onto the thigh for a little bit more of a twist. So press your palms together. Squeeze your inner thighs energetically towards each other. And then we're going to come out. So really trying to stay strong in the legs to keep your balance. Coming back to high crescent. Inhale, reach up one more time. Exhale, step it back, down dog, or take your flow. So the right leg steps back. We're all going to meet in down dog. So this is your chance for Vinyasa if you would like. From here, we're all going to step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Extended mountain pose, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to do that on the other side. So we're going to be high crescent lunging on the left. So what does that mean? We need to bring the right leg up in front, one-legged mountain. See if you can start to send the chest forward as you reach that right leg back, stepping into your high lunge. If you need to get there in multiple steps, that's the way we do it. So just however you need to get there. So checking in, front knee stacked over front ankle, up on the ball of your foot in the back. When you're balanced, reach those arms up. Settling in here, we're going to add the movement. Inhale, lengthen through the side body. Exhale, cactus, open your chest. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus. Bring your hands to heart center. Breathe in. Exhale, twist to the left. So again, your twist can be wherever it needs to be today. It can be up, it can be down. If you want a little more, you can even open the arms. Breathe in here. Pressing your palms together. Stay strong in the legs as you untwist. Inhale, reach up one last time. Exhale, plant your hands, take your flow, or meet us in down dog. That's where I'm heading. So here I am in down dog. We're all going to meet here. Check back in with your breath. Pedal it out. Inhale, lift up on your toes. Exhale, bend both knees. Look forward, come to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Inhale all the way up, extended mountain. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. All right, so we're gonna check back in with our breath. Feel free to close your eyes if that helps you focus. So keeping our hands at heart center, thumbs pressed into our sternum. We're just gonna take a moment, feeling your heartbeat, becoming aware of your breath, starting to see if you can tap back into that ujjayi breath, so hearing that sound in the back of your throat. All right, so we're gonna move on. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, chair pose. So we're gonna sit ourselves back like we're sitting in a chair. Go ahead and turn the core on, so that means pulling belly button to your spine. That's gonna kind of smooth out that low curve, the curve in the low back. Reaching the arms up, chair pose. One more breath here. We're gonna inhale and stand up to one-legged mountain on the right. Inhale, exhale, chair. Inhale, one-leg mountain on the left. Exhale, chair. Inhale, right. Exhale, chair. Inhale, left. Exhale, chair. One more time each side. Inhale, right. Exhale, chair. Inhale, left. Exhale, chair. See if you can sit back into your heels so that your toes can almost float up. So we're looking to have about 80% of the weight in the heels. Breathe. Exhale, fold all the way down, belly to thighs. We're gonna take fingers to toes, forward fold. So get your peace sign fingers. Take a bind around your big toes. Again, we wanna bend the knees as much as it takes to get belly to thighs. Let the crown of your head drop. Elbows drop out to the sides. So we're just gonna fold here, pulling against the big toes to help press the chest closer to the thighs. Leaving some space between the shoulders and the ears. Breathing here. So let's go ahead and release the toes, bringing fingertips to the mat in front of us. I'm gonna go ahead and face you guys. You guys are still at the top of your mat. We're gonna take Vinyasa squat. So to do that, we're gonna start to kind of heel toe our feet out just a bit wider. Our toes are just gonna be pointed out a bit. And then we're gonna start to let the tailbone descend toward the mat as we straighten our spine. So ideally, we're gonna think about a long spine, crown of the head reaching up. Hands in prayer, using the elbows to kind of provide some pressure against the insides of the knees. We can press back into. If you would like some extra support here, grab your block. Place that under your sit bones. But still focus on keeping that engagement, pressing through the soles of the feet, lifting the crown of the head up. So if you take my class in real life, you know I always include Malasana. And if anyone asks me what I think like my favorite yoga pose or something that everyone should do every day, I'm likely to say Malasana. It's a really great mobility, functional movement. And you guys still hold Malasana, but I'm gonna show you why. So here we are in Malasana, but I'm gonna say, what if you're sitting on the ground? Here we are, we're sitting, playing with your kids, doing something, doing a craft, folding laundry. How are you gonna get up? How do we get up? Do we wanna use some sort of a squat? Do we wanna use some sort of a hip mobility movement? Yes. So wouldn't it be great if you could just rely on this mobility to be there for you, to come up, come down, sit down. So this is something that we all need in our everyday life. It's just a useful pose. So if you would like to take crow, we have time. So feel free to start to work your crow. If you're kind of on the fence about crow and you're like, I don't know if I can do that, just start to work a crow prep. You can grab your block, even placing it in front of you, for a little security. But what we can do is try to see if you can get your knees towards your armpits and just rock yourself forward and back. A little bit of weight in the hands, feet get a little bit light, but we don't have to come into crow. We're just practicing shifting our weight forward. Maybe you come forward and you lift one foot. Maybe you try the other foot. Maybe you come forward and you place your forehead on the block and you lift both feet. So there are options here to work on your crow. Let me know if you guys want a crow tutorial, maybe that's next. One more breath here in Malasana. Then we're gonna bring our fingertips to the mat. Start to heel toe the feet back into alignment under the hips. Using strength in the legs, coming all the way up to extended mountain. Hands to heart center. So we're gonna work our balance. I'm gonna still face you guys, but you will probably be towards the top of your mat. So we're gonna do standing leg raise on the right. So again, like always, I give you guys kind of some progressions and you can stop at any point. So to start, we're going to go ahead and place the weight into the left leg, lifting the right leg up into one-legged mountain. We've seen this before. You can stay here. If you're gonna stay here, I would invite you to press the palm of your right hand onto the top of your right thigh, just for some counter pressure here. Engage the core, flex the right foot. You can even take stork pose by bringing your hands in prayer up and overhead, working your balance. If you would like to take standing leg raise from here, bring the right hand to the inside of the right leg and open that leg out to the side. So we're still trying to keep our hip points squared forward, just opening the leg out. There's always the option of this toe bind with a straight leg, depending on your hamstrings. If you do that, try to see if you can keep your hips in line with each other. So, I could be up here, but maybe that's not the most structurally safe place for me to be. I want to be here, I want to be here. If you want to work your balance, reach your left arm out. See if you can take your gaze to the left thumb. Hardest part with control, see if you can move everything back to center and then control everything back down. All right, so let's switch sides. Let's do that on the left. Bringing your weight into the right leg. We're gonna go ahead and lift the left leg up to one-legged mountain on the left. Again, you can stay here, really engaging your core, engaging the left foot. If you wanna go a little further, we're gonna extend the right arm out to the side and open the left leg out to the side. I find it easier sometimes if I do them both at the same time. Just a thought. You can always take the optional toe bind. Working your balance here, focusing your gaze on your right thumb. If you fall out, no big deal. Even less of a deal because you're just at home. Just come back to it. Bringing everything back to center with control and then lowering back down. All right, next, tree pose. So I like tree pose. There's a lot of options that we have here. We can kind of turn our minds off a little bit and focus more on just the meditative aspect of the balance. So we're gonna start on the right. Bring your weight into the left leg. For tree, there's plenty of options. You can use a block here, placing it right under that right foot. And you can just kickstand using the block. You can kickstand using the mat, foot on the calf, or foot above the knee. Again, we kind of want our hips squaring forward, core turned on. Hands can be anywhere that supports your balance. So maybe you start with hands at heart center. When you're feeling balanced, maybe you extend your arms up. Maybe you can take your gaze up. And then this is our chance to breathe, checking back in with our breathing, focusing our attention on one spot that isn't moving. Maybe even closing your eyes if you're looking for a challenge. And then with control, bringing your hands back to heart center and releasing the foot back down to the mat. And we're gonna switch sides. So bringing the weight into the right leg, go ahead and choose your spot for your left foot. And I find that it helps me to press the left foot into the right leg and then press the right leg back into the left foot. So we're just pressing together, bringing everything into the midline. Another thing that helps me with my balance is focusing on the root of the pose, so my foot, thinking about that, rooting down, core support, building the pose from the ground up. Breathing here, when you're feeling stable, reaching arms up, finding your tree pose. Many options here, so if you're looking for a challenge, maybe you interlace your fingers, pressing the palms up, lengthening through the side body, taking your gaze up. One more breath, and then release everything back down, and with control, releasing that foot back down to the ground. Okay, awesome. We are going to move on. So if you are not at the top of your mat, let's come to the top of the mat. We're gonna take a sun salutation to bring ourselves all the way down. So inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step it back to high plank. If you want to drop the knees, go ahead and drop the knees. We're gonna lower down slowly, chaturanga style, all the way down to our bellies. So sending the chest forward, lowering slowly all the way down to the mat. That's the closest to chaturanga you're gonna see today from me. So we're gonna take 2 locust poses. So we're gonna start on our belly, arms by our sides, palms facing down. Now there's an option. If locust is a little much, you can take a baby cobra. So let's all just take a baby cobra first. Place your palms underneath your shoulders. Inhale, roll the shoulder blades to the spine. Open your chest, press into the palms, lift your chest up. Little bitty baby cobra. So little that you could even hover the palms if you wanted to. One more breath. Exhale, come down. Now, you can take 2 more baby cobras or 2 locusts with me. So locust pose, arms by your sides, palms facing down. On your inhale, lift your chest, lift your legs. Energy through the fingertips, reach, reach, reach. Energy through the toes. You see, when I even thought about energy through the toes, my chest lifted more. Really reaching, breathing. Exhale, come down. So reset, come back to your breath. It can be exhausting with these back strengthening poses. Gotta keep breathing. So we're gonna take 1 more locust together. Feel free to take a baby cobra. On your inhale, roll your shoulder blades to your spine, engage your core to protect low back, lift your chest, lift your legs. Reach through your fingertips, reach through your toes, squeeze your glutes. 1 more breath. Exhale down. All right, take a couple breaths here. Rest on one cheek. When you're ready, slide your hands up and under your shoulders. We're gonna engage the core as we press up into tabletop. Coming up to our knees for camel pose. So I kind of take a gentle camel here. We're just gonna make sure that our knees are hip width distance apart. If you need your blanket, this is a good time to have them under your knees. You can even grab your block if you want to place that between your legs, just giving you something to kind of squeeze into. And so for camel, I want to think about it as less of a back bend and more of a chest opener. So I'm going to go ahead and start to bring my hands to the small back, thumbs pressing down towards my sacrum, roll the chest open, push the hips and pelvis forward as I open across the chest and the front body. So I'm thinking about shining or directing my chest up to the sky. Breathing here. If you're a more bendy sort and you're looking for a little more, you can bring your hands down to your heels and then keep pressing your hips forward. You can even curl the toes under. A lot of options here. So when you're ready to come out, use your quads, use your core, slowly come out. Bring your hands back to heart center. We're gonna come to our back for bridge. So bridge or wheel. For me, I have to have a lot of warm up for wheel, so I usually take bridge, especially in these gentle classes. So we're gonna come to our back, bending the knees, soles of the feet, planted into the mat, and you wanna kind of be able to graze your heels with your fingertips. So on your inhale, We're gonna press into the feet, lift the hips, lift the pelvis, start to kind of walk the shoulders under you for some extra height. Think about bringing the chest to the chin instead of the chin to the chest. So that means kind of rooting down through the back of your forehead so that you stay really safe alignment with your neck. Breathe here and slowly rolling all the way back down. Resetting. We're going to take one more bridge or a wheel if you prefer. This time, the option to take a one-legged bridge on each side if you like. So inhale, press through the feet, lift your hips. If you're going to take the one-legged bridge, go ahead and wiggle walk one foot to the center and then lift the opposite leg straight up. So my right leg is lifted. I'm still trying to press and lift through the opposite hip. Switching sides, bringing that right foot towards the center, lifting left leg up, breathing here. You can just stay in regular bridge if you want. One more breath, really press into the big toes, lifting the hips higher, and then slowly rolling all the way down. We're going to take a reclined bound angle, otherwise known as Supta Baddha Konasana in Sanskrit. So soles of the feet together, knees dropping out to the side. You can bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Feel free to close your eyes. This is just our chance to kind of let our spine reset, check back in with our breath. You can stay here in your Supta Baddha Konasana, or we can take Happy Baby pose. So for Happy Baby, be really careful here because your low back can be sensitive, and for Happy Baby, we want the low back to be rounding down, contacting the mat. So take your time, make sure your low back is on the mat, kick the soles of the feet to the sky, and then we're going to reach for the outer edges of the feet, starting to draw the thighs close to the body. If you have trouble reaching the feet, you can try to reach the ankles, the calves, whatever it takes, and we're just going to find some movement side to side. This is a great hip opener. It's kind of fun, kind of funny looking. Probably a good one to play with at home if you've been kind of like, that looks silly. I don't know if I want to do that in class. Hey, do it at home. All right. So from here, we have an option to rock and roll up to boat. If you are like, not for me, we're just going to drop the legs over to the side and press up to boat. But if you want to try to rock north and south on your spine, see if you can rock and find your way up to boat. So for boat, we have options. Grab your block, actually. If you want a little more, grab your block. So we can be here with our fingertips on the mat for support. We can have our hands behind our thighs for support. What I want us to focus on is straight spine, proud chest, opening the chest. Knees can be bent, legs can be straight. So here's boat. If you want a little more, we're going to add some oblique work in. So grabbing your block, boat pose, and we're going to twist, tap the block, back to center, twist, tap, center, twist, center, twist. Trying to keep your lower half stable. This block is really large, but I'm trying to work with it. You could even use a weight here, like a dumbbell. So I'm just going to twist. We're going to hold boat. This is one of my faves because it really gets into these oblique corset muscles, stabilizer muscles. All right, so we're going to lose the block. One more breath here. Then we're slowly going to bring the feet down to the mat. And we're going to come to pigeon pose. So my class is always a lot of options. You can choose pigeon up on top of the mat. You can choose pigeon on your back. So I'm going to show you both. I'm going to start with pigeon on the right, half pigeon. So on your back, it looks like this. Figure 4, we're going to cross the right ankle over the left knee. Maybe this is your pigeon. You feel the stretch already right here. This feels good. You can stay here. Just try to flex that right foot. If you want a little more, start to draw the legs toward your body. Maybe even reaching and interlacing behind the left thigh. So this is a part of the video. If you want a little more, you could be here for several minutes. So if you want to pause and take as long a pigeon on either side as you want, that would be great. Just be sure you give equal attention to both sides. So this is pigeon on your back. This is supine or reclined pigeon. I'll show you up on top of the mat, half pigeon on the right. You can come in from down dog, you can come in however works for you, but we're gonna think about the right thigh being parallel with the side of the mat. It does not really matter if this leg is in 90. This is not gonna be very easy for most of us. So it really doesn't matter. We just want to make sure the right foot is flexed and that this right thigh is parallel and that our hips are in line with each other. And then we're gonna find our pigeon. So maybe we're up here, maybe we're down here. If you're up on top of the mat, check in with that back foot. Make sure it's not sickling. So we don't want it off to the side. We want the top of the foot pressed down into the mat. So we've been here on the right side for a while. So we're gonna take a couple more breaths and we're gonna switch to the other side. Like I said, pigeon's an awesome one to hold, especially for times of tension. We tend to hold a lot of tension in the hips. So if you want a longer pigeon, like 4 or 5 minutes on each side, this is a good time to pause the video and then come back. So to switch sides, if you're on your back, you're just gonna switch the cross. If you're up on top of the mat, maybe you come back to down dog, pedal it out, and then switch to the other side. So you're gonna bring that left leg forward. And again, checking in to see that the hips are in line with each other. The left thigh is roughly parallel with the side of the mat, flexing the left foot. Top of the foot is pressed down, and then we're gonna find our pigeon. So I'm gonna come to my back with you guys who are on your back. Supine pigeon. So the reason that we hold some of these poses like pigeon for a little bit longer is because these are some big muscles. It takes a while for our body to be willing to just relax and let go of some of that tension, open that up. So you really can find a lot of benefit by being in these poses a little bit longer, allowing your body that time to open up. A couple more breaths. And then we're slowly going to make our way out of pigeon, and we're all going to meet up on top of the mat in seated bound angle. So soles of the feet together, knees falling out to the sides. So I'm going to give you guys some time because I know we're in all different places. So once we're in seated bound angle, we're going to have an option for a fold. So we're going to inhale, sit up, exhale, send your chest forward. I'm going to move back because I might be off camera. And we're going to send the chest forward, gaze just past the toes, rounding down. So you're going to feel this in your low back, probably in your hips as well. Breathing here. Starting to turn your attention back inward as we cool down even more. Slowly rolling up. We're going to take a few last seated folds. So we're going to keep the left leg where it is, extend the right leg out long, bring the sole of the left foot into the inside of the right thigh. Go ahead and swivel your chest to center over the right leg. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach forward, reach past, lengthen, 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 fold over the right leg. Breathing here. Keeping some engagement through this right foot. You can always bend your knee on any forward fold. We want to think about a straight spine rather than a straight leg. So as much as you need to bend. Walk your hands back towards yourself, other side. The left leg extends out long. Sole of the right foot comes to the inside of the right thigh. We're going to go ahead and swivel the chest to center over the left leg. Inhale, reach up, lengthen up. Exhale, reach past, reach past, reach past, reach past, and fold. Really thinking about that length in the spine, hinging at the hips for your fold. Walk your hands back towards yourself. Last fold, seated wide-legged forward fold. So open your legs out to a V. And I like to start with a little bit of a stirring movement. So we're gonna bring our fingertips in front of us, and we're just gonna lead with the chest and take some little circles. Hinging at the hips, straight spine, leading with the chest, go both directions, both ways. And then as you circle, maybe you get lower and lower, still leading with the chest, until you can crawl your hands out in front and find your fold. So maybe you're up here. Maybe you have your block. Forearms on the block, chest on the block, forehead on the block. Breathing here. Walk your hands back towards yourself. And we're gonna come to our back for your choice of inversion. So waterfall is what I'm going to cue with the block. So for waterfall, we're gonna come to a bridge setup. We're gonna lift the hips, place the block underneath your sacrum, and we're just gonna extend one leg at a time up to the sky. So make sure that you feel settled and secure on your block. You can start to relax your upper body, start to become more aware of your breath, deepening your breath, lengthening your exhales longer than your inhales. So maybe you start to count. Inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 6. You can have a friend turn off the lights here. You can spray some lavender in your room, whatever helps you relax. This is another one you can go ahead and pause the video and hold this for several minutes. This is a really, really restorative inversion. Good for your lymphatic system, good for your nervous system, good for your circulation. And when you're ready, one leg at a time, bending the knees, placing the feet on the mat, slide the block out. We're gonna take a last twist and then Shavasana. So we're gonna go ahead and pull the knees into the chest, bringing your arms out to a T. We're gonna bump the hips up and over just a smidge to the right, and then we're gonna drop both knees over to the left. So from here, check in with your shoulders. Make sure that your right shoulder is down on the mat. You can take your gaze over to your right hand. Breathing here. Use your core. Bring your knees back to center. You can go ahead and adjust and bump your hips over a little bit left of center, and then we're going to drop both knees over to the right, taking that twist. Making sure your left shoulder is down on the mat. I'm going to move back a little. I don't know if you can see me. So again, you can take your gaze over to the left hand. Maybe you can assist your twist by placing the right hand on top of the top leg. Using your core, bringing everything back to center. Go ahead and hug your knees into your chest one last time. Any last movements that you need, feel free to take. And then we're going to come to Shavasana. So one leg at a time, stretching the legs out long, arms by your sides. Again, if I have a buddy or a friend, maybe they can turn off the light for me. Buddy or friend, maybe they would do it. You turn off the light, and then just find a few moments for yourself here. I won't lead you through Shavasana, but what I invite you to do is turn this video off and then find a few moments for yourself to just do nothing. So just breathe, do whatever feels good to you, but just take that time. It's really restorative for your body. It's really good to integrate the practice that you just did. So with that, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. Feel free to take as long as Shavasana as you'd like. And if you liked this video, let me know. And let me know anything else you'd like me to do. Happy to be of service to you. The light in me honors and appreciates the light in each of you. Namaste.